Malo everyone, and welcome to Heilala Creations video on how to make your very own Heilala polymer clay flowers. The equipment you'll need are as follows: a Birk needle, a razor blade, which is optional, an acrylic roller, a Heilala cutter. The one I'll be using in this video is a size 18mm, a 250 gram block of Red Dukit clay, and a 50 gram block of Yellow Dukit clay. Step 1, you'll need your razor or a knife, your acrylic roller, and your 250 gram Red Dukit clay. Unwrap your Dukit clay and using your razor, slice 3 cm thick slabs of clay throughout the whole block. Once you have done this, use your acrylic roller and roll out your slabs to your preferred thickness. But if you are like me and own a pasta roller, put the dial setting on 6 for a more consistent and even roll. I highly recommend purchasing a pasta roller for its efficiency and consistency in thickness when it comes to rolling out your slabs of clay. Manually rolling out your clay with an acrylic roller is very time consuming and can be quite difficult and inconsistent when it comes to judging the preferred thickness of your clay. After you have rolled out all your slabs, you're going to fold and layer them on top of each other. I tend to layer them 4 to 5 times depending on how many rolled slabs there are. Now the reason why I do this is so I can have one giant flat rolled out slab in the end, which will be perfect for my Heilala stamping. Make sure you make them within the width of your pasta roller or it will be difficult for it to process through. You can manually roll it out with your acrylic roller, but as I said, it will be quite difficult to get a consistent thickness. Now that they're all layered, they're ready to be processed through the pasta machine. The Dukit polymer clay that I use is quite a hard clay, so be careful and hold down your pasta machine when processing your layered slabs through. As you can see here, when you process your slabs through, it can come out with holes or gaps. Don't panic. Simply fold your clay in half and make sure the folded part is getting processed through first to get rid of all those air bubbles. When you keep repeating this step, your slab should come out whole and gap free. For this next step, you'll need your Heilala cutter, your 50 gram of yellow clay, and your Birk needle. When you are stamping your cutter onto the clay, make sure you stamp them close together so to not waste any space. After you've finished stamping, remove all the excess clay. Sometimes when we are taking off the excess clay, we can break some petals. Don't panic, simply press it back onto its original shape and it looks good as new. After you finish this step, make sure you collect all the excess clay and form it into a ball for the next slab. Using your yellow clay, we will now make the pollen part of the Heilala flower. To make it easier for me, I roll out the yellow clay into a log and I pinch with my index finger and my thumb the yellow clay into a ball and place it in the middle of the Heilala flower. After that is done, now comes the important part, which is bringing the Heilala flower to life. In this step, I will be using my Birk needle. Using my index finger and thumb, I will flatten all 4 petals with medium pressure. This is to imitate the thin petals. Then using my index finger and thumb on both hands, I will pinch on both sides of the flower and prop up the Heilala flower. Make sure to slightly open the petals a bit before using your needle to lightly puncture some details in the middle. Using your Birk needle, twist it through the bottom of the Heilala flower to make a hole. This is crucial for your sewing once all of these Heilala flowers are baked. You're going to keep repeating the same process over and over again until all the flowers are ready to be placed on the baking tray. Once you've completed this step, it's time to now place all your Heilala flowers onto the tray. Now you can place your Heilala flowers however you like onto the baking tray, but the reason why I place them in rows like this is that because when it is baking, I know it's done when there is a shine on the Heilala flowers and they are kind of sticking together. Now, after you've finished placing them onto the baking tray, it is now ready to be popped into the oven. Now, depending on the type of oven you have, I have a portable oven which requires no preheating, but if you have your everyday household oven, I highly recommend that you preheat your oven. So I put my oven at 140 degrees on bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. Malo, Alberto, for joining me in today's video. Everything we used in today's video will be linked in our bio. Stay tuned for part 2 as we sew our very own kahoa Heilala.